Well, they'll be challenged the use of the transmission in the vehicle, learning the appropriate gears to select when descending or ascending certain grades. They'll be challenged with the narrowness of the curvature of the road, the placement of their vehicle is so large. This is a 40-foot vehicle, and the turns, you'll notice that if they're not paying attention, they can end up on the wrong side of the road, which they won't, because they'll be taught on the procedures on how to. Well, it's when you're heading down into the canyon and a log truck is approaching from the other angle, and there's not much room for both vehicles to pass, and a sharp cliff on the steep cliff on the right-hand side or the left-hand side, and the banks and the rocks and the trees that overhang, all of those. Most of these folks haven't been on courses like this, and they're very surprised when they come around the corner and they meet a logging truck or a large piece of equipment, and they really have nowhere to go. They have to maintain their position in their lanes.
Correct. We're going to be doing some practical driving in the mountainous areas of the Sierra foothills. I think it's looked at with some great anticipation. The students are here 2.5 weeks before they actually go out on the road, out into the real world again, and practice some of the techniques that they've learned in the classroom and on the track back at our training academy. And I think with great anticipation they look forward to putting those skills to use and practicing. Well, California's school bus is probably the safest vehicle that anyone can ride on as far as transportation, vehicular transportation. And I think in order for California to maintain that leadership role, such a fantastic safety record, we need to continue to work with our training efforts. We need to improve our training and continue to train as many people as possible so that record stays as outstanding as it has in the past. The purpose of the California Department of Education's Bus Driver Instructor Training Program is to train qualified school bus technicians, people that operate school buses daily, and we train them to be instructors, to go back to their operations and teach future school bus drivers.
Anna's really good at really leading us into doing what we need to be looking for and helping us along with what is really important in our training the new trainee. Pretty good, actually. I have not had to do step well in the mountains before, so it's going to be something new and exciting to look for. I guess it would be weird for someone who didn't have, that kind of a relationship with their children, but my children are always really excited about it. They're, we do a safety speech every time we proceed to do a trip, just letting them know where the emergency exits are and the emergency procedures that we would have. So usually at the end of that procedure, then my kids are like, that's my mom, so it's pretty exciting. Oh, just a lot of tremendous new great information, some confidence to be able to go back and share that with my department, and I'm really looking forward. We have one other instructor plus our supervisor, and I'm really looking forward to going back and working with them to make our district just a really good, strong district with good safe drivers.
Be cautious of as you guys come through here.
You need to be watching all of the traffic, the cars that are parked here.
All right, we good to go?
Looks like we are good to go. Nice, smooth start.
Want me to upshift, keep it in second? What do you think?
Are you at the top of your tack? Students. A little bit, maybe downshift to give our bus a little more power. Good job, Anna.
All right. Now we're going to make a left on Old State.
That's correct. Got to be real cautious of all the things that are going on around us.
Okay, now look at the perfect example, Amanda.
Yes, very.
You can't see anything.
You can't.
Still wet. It's
right, on the ground. It looks like a few people have taken that stop sign out.
Mile, so we're dropping about 1,400 feet.
Looks like we may possibly have a railroad track approaching.
Ann Borges really doesn't need guidance. She's a veteran bus driver, an instructor for the California Department of Education. This ride around Newcastle really is for Amanda Hausler and her classmates. Hausler is a 16-year veteran school bus driver in her hometown of Vacaville, but today she's learning how she can train others back home to be better drivers. The trip is a rolling discussion between Amanda and Ann about good driving. This mother and grandmother, who sometimes drives her own kids on the bus, overall was pleased. For those students who want more, instructor Lee Craw has added a challenge, bringing a 40-foot, 16-ton bus down treacherous mountain roads. This section of Highway 49 runs along the American River Canyon. Brake temperatures can jump more than 100 degrees if a trainee goes too quickly or uses the wrong gear. The goal is to make sure flatland drivers don't become a hazard on trips through here. The program has been around since 1970. A mountain course was added after a July 1991 school bus accident. It killed 7 Girl Scouts along a Palm Springs mountain road. Funding for the program comes from a special surtax on speeding tickets. That pays for the California drivers. Out-of-state drivers and even out-of-country drivers pay their own way. The class is done 3 or 4 times every year with 16 students and 3 instructors. It's roughly a 3-week program with 2.5 weeks in the classroom, but then they go on the road. To participate, bus drivers must have 5 years' experience, no accidents, a high school degree, and a valid driving certificate. This road is an 8% grade. Goes along for about 3 miles, about a 1,400-foot drop from top to bottom. And some drivers actually obey the 20-mile-per-hour speed limit. Since 1970, California bus driver instruction has graduated about 5,000 trainers, and more than 100 hardy souls have completed the mountain course. Statistics say riding in a California school bus is 8 times safer than riding in an airliner and 92 times safer than riding in a car. If you were in the Sierra foothills today, you may have seen a number of school buses in some very tight spots, rounding corners on winding roads and chugging up and down steep hills. It's the closing day of a program where veteran school bus drivers learn to train others. Mark Harmon for KCRA in the Sierra foothills.